What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Today I'm super excited because we're gonna be doing a full face first impressions, testing a bunch of new makeup. Today's video is kind of gonna be a mishmash. We have new drugstore and new like higher end stuff. So just kind of like a big mix. So I'm super excited. These are some of my favorite videos to film for you guys. So without further ado, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel if you have not already and click the little bell right next to the subscribe button so you can be notified of all my future uploads, and let's go ahead and get started. All right, zoomed you guys in. Let's get started. We're gonna start first with the new Jaclyn Cosmetics Primer Oil. This is the Skin Perfecting Oil Primer. It has a dog hair on it, so excuse that. This retails for $34, so let's go in and see. I'll be honest, normally I don't really love primer oils. They're just not my thing, but keeping an open mind, I'm just gonna drop some of this into my fingers and then I'll work it on the skin. It does say this is supposed to give like a subtle, oh, it's a very light oil, so that's nice. A subtle pink tint to the skin, which I feel like is kind of weird. It's mostly clear, but that's just what the website says, because it is like a pink toned oil, but I don't think it really gives any sort of like major tint to the skin. I like that this is a light oil. Some primer oils I think can be way too thick. This is definitely lighter, so if I was gonna use a primer oil, this is the kind that I would use. Definitely don't mind it. We'll obviously have to see how foundation applies on top of it, but not bad. But anyways, for foundation, we have a new one. This I'm really excited about because a lot of you guys actually were like, you have to try it, you're really gonna like it. So I have the JOA Crystal Glow Prime-dation. So it's an all-in-one foundation. So it's supposed to be a primer, foundation, and I think concealer all in one. So obviously we already primed the skin. Even when products kind of say that, I'm always kind of like, I'm still gonna use a primer anyways. This is supposed to give you coverage but look like skin and have a natural radiant finish. It comes in 24 different shades and is retailing for $15.99. So I'm gonna go in, I have a couple different shades here. I think I'm gonna use shade 40, and I'm going to use it on one of the new Wet n Wild sponges. These came out with their like Halloween collection and they actually feel really, really soft. They came in a bunch of different colors, but I just have the little lime green one. So we're gonna use this today. I'm gonna just squirt some of the foundation onto the sponge. That is one pump, and we'll go in on the face with this and see. Okay, looks like it's giving a good coverage, which is nice. It does look very skin-like. Like I feel like that morphed into my skin really nicely. I definitely wouldn't say this is full coverage. It's more like medium, I would say, but looks pretty nice. Gonna go in with another pump on the other side. And this sponge is really, really nice. Super soft, blending the foundation really easily. So definitely a fan of the sponge, and it's super affordable because it's Wet n Wild. And I'll have all the products that we use today linked down below as always, you guys already know. I wouldn't say it's giving me like a super dewy finish either. So like if you have oily skin, I wouldn't say that you have to like necessarily steer clear of this. It's not like super, super dewy, and especially because we have that primer oil underneath. I would say the finish is more like just on the natural side, again, to mimic natural skin. Okay, so I have this all blended out. I have some thoughts. It blends it out super easily. I do think it does look like natural skin. So if you're looking for something that's more lightweight, it feels lightweight on the skin, that's more natural, I think that you will like this. And I do think that I will continue to use this. One thing I did notice though, is that right in this area where I have most of like my texture, which is right in like this area of my face, I feel like it does emphasize my texture a little bit more than other foundations do. And it's weird because this is supposed to be infused with a blurring primer. So they're saying like, oh, you don't even need to use a primer. Like we already have a blurring primer in here. Not sure about that. So I feel like when I use it in the future, I'll use like a pore filling kind of smoothing primer first and then go in with this. I do think it looks very skin-like. It's lightweight and gives a nice medium coverage. So I will use it again. All right, I'm gonna jump in with concealer. I don't have a new one, so I'm just gonna go in with Tarte Shape Tape. You guys already know. So I'm just going to pop this on my under eyes. You guys can use code Kelly to get this or anything discounted on Tarte's website. I'm gonna spot conceal with it too, just because if you have like any like red blemishes, this foundation isn't gonna be enough to completely cover that up. So if you wanna cover them, you'll probably have to go in with a more like high coverage product. This sponge though is really good, and I think it's like $4. So 10 out of 10 would recommend the Wet n Wild sponges. So I'm just gonna blend this right on out and we'll be right back. Okay, I feel like now that I added the concealer, it actually helped to take away from that texture emphasis. So I like that. Okay, so now that we have our complexion done, I don't have a new powder, so I'm going to go in with one of my favorites. This is the Hailey's Beauty Retouch Soft Focus Setting Powder. You guys know if you watch my channel, I love Hailey's. Their products are so good. They're founded by a female chemist, so the whole premise of the brand is to create makeup that's good, that's also good for your skin. So everything is formulated with skin-friendly ingredients. They're vegan, they're cruelty-free, and I love this powder. I use it to set all over my face and my under eyes. It has like a slight little yellow tint to it, so when you use it to set the under eyes, it adds a little bit of brightness too, which I love. So I wanna thank Hailey so much for partnering with me on today's today's video to let you guys know about an awesome duo that they have launching. It's only for a limited time, but you guys can get the Retouch Soft Focus Setting Powder bundled with their new setting spray. This is also a primer, so it's the Refresh Priming and Setting Spray. So you can use this before you put any makeup on just to prime the skin, or you can use it as a setting spray. So I'm actually gonna set my complexion down now. Since we have all of our face products down, then we can use it again at the end to make sure we lock everything in place. But I'm gonna go in and spritz. It literally feels so good. You're not gonna wanna stop like spraying it on your face. So refreshing. But you can get Retouch and Refresh bundled together for $29. It's a $40 value. So I'll have a direct link down below for you guys to shop these products if you want to. I really love their foundations and their new concealer as well. But these specifically are great if you wanna give them as like a gift, because the holidays are coming, baby. Because it's a universal shade, so you don't have to worry about like color matching if you're buying a gift for somebody. So great little gift idea. Never too early to get started. I literally already bought my first Christmas gift for someone. I know maybe some of you think I'm crazy, but I'm prepared. Okay, I'm just jumping in and filling in my brows really quick. I'm just using the Precisely My Brow pencil from Benefit because I have a new brow gel that I want to test out, but my brows need a little color first. They're looking a little light. All right, I am back. I feel like Manny MUA when he's like, back and the brows are filled. So cute. Okay, anyways, now let's jump into this brow gel because I have seen this all over the place. This is a newer brand, I think at Sephora, but they have gone viral on TikTok and like I feel like Instagram too for their brow products. So this is the brand Refi. So this is their brow gel. It's like white, which makes me a little scared, but I'm like, let's try it and see. It's supposed to like hold your brows really, really good. So I'm gonna kind of brush them up first. Oh, wow. This actually does hold them good. I'm gonna brush them up and then I'll kind of like comb them into place, but I like to like brush upwards, let it like dry for a second and then kind of sculpt it. Dang, okay, this is actually, that like brushed them up super easily and now I'm gonna go and just kind of sculpt them to the side a little bit. I know fluffy brows are not for everybody, so if it's not for you, no worries. You don't have to get this product, but if you do like the fluffy brow trend, which I do my brows some days like that, some days I just do them normal. Kind of depends how I'm feeling. They're just brows, you take them off at the end of the day. At least I do because mine are basically clear without brow gel. This is actually really, really good. Alrighty, let's jump on into the eyes. I want to use this new ColourPop palette. I always love when ColourPop comes out with these big, like, what are these, 30 pans? Yeah, I think 30 pan eyeshadow palette. So this is the Play It Jewel palette. Ooh, very, very pretty. I like this a lot. So we have neutrals and then we also have some pretty jewel tones as well. So this is a really, really pretty palette. That green is so pretty. Okay, so before we jump in with this palette, they also launched this Party Proof Eye Primer. It has like a little doe foot. It looks like a little squeezy too, but you have the doe foot applicator. So I'm gonna put this on the eyelid. Should we do one eye with the primer and one eye without the primer? Maybe we'll do that. I mean, it'll make for the look to look a little weird, but then maybe like we'll be able to see like, okay, does it make a difference if you already have concealer down? All right, maybe we'll do that. So I'll do this eye with primer, and then I'll keep this eye just with my concealer, no primer, and see if there's a difference in how the eyeshadows look. So I'm just kind of tapping in with my finger. All right, first we are going to go in with the shade Rocker. ColourPop, please, in these big palettes, I love them so much, please can we have a mirror? Like if it would cost to make the palettes like $1 more or something, like please. Just a personal thing, but I would love to see that. All right, let's go in with Rocker. Gonna pop this in the crease. This is pretty similar to my skin tone, so just kind of using this as a little transition shade. Probably won't be able to see if this palette is like good and pigmented by this shade. All right, now I'm gonna go in with shade Carrots and just using the same brush and bringing this into the crease to deepen up that area before we start going in with some color. It's nice because this palette has a lot of neutrals, so if you're like me and you gear more towards neutrals, especially on like an everyday basis, it has that. But then if you do like to use pops of color sometimes, it gives you that option too. So you kind of have it all in one instead of just like a palette that's all colorful shades, no neutrals, or a palette that's like all neutrals, no color, you know? So it kind of gives you both options. Okay, I think we're good on that. Now let's jump in with this. It's kind of like a greeny blue, and it's the shade Wave-like. I was thinking Wavelength. Wave-like. Okay, so this is a matte, and I'm gonna buff this. Ooh, okay, it shows up more blue than greeny, like kind of on the eye, but I'm gonna put this in this outer part of my eye and then bring it into the crease as well. I'm not gonna bring it all the way in though, kind of keeping it in this outer V area. I'm just gonna kind of buff that in. I was hoping it was gonna be a little more green than blue on the eye, but still pretty nonetheless. If you're like me and not used to working with super like bold shades like this, because most of the looks I do are neutral, you guys know that, I like to go in, like I'm only going in with a tiny little bit on my brush, buffing that in, and then I'll gradually make the intensity more and more and go in with more product. But you don't wanna go in with like a super soaked brush with a ton of product on it and then try and blend, because it's not gonna be easy. So that's kind of the approach I like to take. Start small and build it up. Okay, I think I like this intensity. I'm a little scared. I'm like, whoa, this is a lot for me. But I think we're gonna make this look really cool. Now I'm going to go in with this shade Sparkle right here, which is kind of like a yellowy lime greenish sort of shade. And I'm gonna just go in with my finger with this. Ooh, that's pretty. And I'm gonna tap that on the lid. Oh my goodness. This is, if you guys watch my channel, you know this look is out of my comfort zone, but this is pretty. Oh my goodness. Okay. This shimmer is beautiful. Wow. I'm just gonna go in with a brush in some of the areas I couldn't hit with my finger. So pretty. And then just going in and doing the same thing on the other side. Okay, now on the lower lash line, I'm gonna jump in with the shade Finest. This is the darkest shade in the palette. It's like a dark brown. Hopefully this comes out looking nice, but I'm gonna pop this in the lower lash line, like super close to the eye. And then we're gonna use a different color to buff it out. And I'm also gonna actually use this color to do a little line on the upper lash line, kind of just on the outer corner, and wing it out a little bit. Okay, now to buff it out, I have to go in with that pretty shimmer. So this is shade Crown, like a green kind of shimmer. And I'm gonna buff this out on the lower lash line. Ooh, this is so pretty. This is like the perfect mix to just like blend all the colors together. You guys always say you wanna see a colorful look, so here you go, you got it today. This is definitely out of my comfort zone, but I feel like it looks really cool. Now last but not least, of course, we have to highlight, so I'm gonna go in with Crystalline right here, and I'm gonna pop this in the inner corner and right beneath that brow bone. Like I said, there's tons of neutral eyeshadows in this palette as well, so I could definitely use this again and do like a more neutral look, but I wanted to do something a little bit different for you guys today. And I thought this palette worked really nicely, similar to my other ColourPop palettes that I've used. Pigmented, easily blendable. I'm a big fan of their products, you guys know that. So palette I definitely like. I feel like you would get a ton of use, and again, could do so many different looks with this. And I do have an affiliate code with ColourPop, so if you want, you can use code Kelly. It'll give you an additional 10% discount off of your whole order on their website. So if you wanna get the palette, overall, I don't know that you need the eye primer. I will update the description box and let you know like if this eye ends up lasting like way better throughout the day than this eye, but I feel like normally my eyeshadow lasts pretty well, but I will put that down below in the description box where I list all the products, so check there if you wanna see, but not sure that you necessarily need the primer. All right, eyeshadow is done. We're gonna jump in with mascara now. I also have a new one from ColourPop. You know ColourPop is always launching 100 new things, but this is their new Level Up Lengthening Mascara. So I used to be such a volumizing mascara girl, and I still like it at times, but I've definitely gotten more into the lengthening mascaras, and this one looks like a slim little brush, so I'm eager to see if this works, but it's supposed to lengthen the lashes really well, so let's go in and see if it does that. And it does come in a couple different colors. I'm just using shade Black, but they do have some colored ones too if you want to do something a little funky. This is definitely like a more sticky kind of formula, so it's not going to be super like liquidy, which is what actually I prefer, but this one is definitely more on the stickier side. So that's about 2 coats of it. Honestly, I definitely have mascaras that I like more. Like, I don't think it looks terrible, but did a decent job of lengthening. I'm gonna go in on this side and see, but I feel like it's not gonna be like a new holy grail for me. Okay, so that's 2 coats on both eyes. Not bad, but again, just not my favorite. It actually works nicely on the lower lashes because it's a smaller wand, so you can really get in there and like wiggle it. Okay, lashes are done. I am gonna pop on some falsies just because I feel like we have so much color on the lids, like we need little something more. So I'm gonna just take the Salon Perfect 663s. I really like these, and I'm just gonna take 1 pair and cut it in half to kind of make like a half lash for each side of my eye. I've been doing that a lot recently. So I just kind of take one of the lashes, I'll bend it in half, and then snip it in the center, and then just go in and pop it on. Okay, eyes are done. I'm just going in and bronzing up the skin a little bit. We have the new little highlight and blush palette from Jaclyn Cosmetics, which I want to try, but I feel like my skin needs a little bronzing first. Okay, so this is the Winter Sun palette from Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is part of their holiday line. The packaging is very nice on this. I've literally used this mirror like throughout the whole tutorial since our eyeshadow palettes didn't have one, but you get 2 different highlights and then a blush. So I'm gonna use just 1 highlight on one side of my face, 1 highlight on the other, and then use the blush. So let's use the blush first. Looks like a pretty little pinky kind of rosy shade. Yes, very pretty. I definitely like the blush, and I do feel like the blush shade, it's like a medium tone, so I think if your skin is on the fairer side, you could use this. I think if your skin is deeper than mine, you could still use it as well. The highlights though is the thing that I'm like, I don't know how many skin tones these highlights are gonna work on, so I'm interested to see how they end up applying on the skin. because I believe it's just this palette. I don't think there are additional shades, but let me double check. Okay, yeah, it's just this. So there aren't like different shade options. So let's see what these highlights look like. I'm gonna go in with the lighter one first and pop that on this side. Ooh. Very icy, but very pretty. Definitely has like a almost purpley undertone to it, but I feel like Jaclyn a lot of times wears highlights that are like this, like super beaming. I like more like goldeny, so I feel like I'm gonna like this one better, and I just dug my nail right into it. Ah! But this is definitely very, very pretty. I would say if you have fairer skin, this will be beautiful. If your skin's really any darker than mine, it's probably gonna be too light. But let's jump into the golden one and see how that looks. Do that on this side. Ooh, okay. So this is pretty. This one is actually deeper than it appears, I feel like, in the pan. It does apply deeper on the skin. So I feel like, for me, it's almost like this one's a little too dark and this one's a little too light, but I could definitely like mix them together. So I feel like I would probably mix them, and like, I'll just put that down the nose to kind of make something a little bit in the middle. I would have loved to see her come out with more options for this, not just one that only has 3 shades. Like if there was maybe like a light, medium, dark. So it would have been cool to offer like multiple options. Okay, and then last but not least, we're gonna check out her lippies. So she came out with liquid lipsticks that look like this, really, really pretty. And then there are corresponding lip liners. So I'm trying to decide what shade I wanna do. I'll swatch all 4 of the liquid lipsticks for you guys, and then we can pick which one. So I feel like I have so much going on in the eyes. So first we have Bow. Ooh, very pretty. Ooh, these smell really good. They're like a vanilla donut or something. Like I could literally smell it from like that far away. They definitely smell nice. So that's Bow, kind of like a classic red. Then we have Stocking. Okay, so these are like all holiday themed, which is cute. Ooh, very deep, dark, and vampy. Then we have Unwrap Me, which is like a berry. And then Flannel, which is a berry, but a bit deeper. I'm like debating, I'm like, which one? I feel like none of these really go with the green eye that we have. But I think I'm gonna go in with this last one, Flannel. It's kind of like in between. So I'm gonna line my lips with the Flannel lip liner. I like that she did like corresponding lip liners. Lip liner was creamy and like went on nicely. Now I'm gonna go in with the liquid lipstick. I don't think I've tried any like liquid lip or anything from Jaclyn, so let's see. Definitely very pigmented. A little bit deeper than the liner color, which is interesting. Like I feel like I would rather the liner be a little bit darker than liquid lipstick, but the liner is actually a little bit lighter. So I'm kind of trying to go over it. So I don't really love that. And I'll be honest too, it's also a little streaky. Like, do you guys see? Like it doesn't look uniform, like the color. And I don't know if it's me. I keep trying to go over it to like make it blend a little better, because it looks kind of like the color just doesn't look uniform. It's like weirdly streaky in some parts. All right, I'm gonna give it a second to dry, because this is like, I don't know. Let's see, maybe like as it dries, it'll all come together. So let's wait a second, let it dry down. Okay, it's completely dry now on my lips. I don't know like if I did something wrong or what happened, but it's definitely very streaky. Like it's not a uniform color. Like you can see here, it's like a little bit lighter of here. And like I went over it multiple times. So these unfortunately are not my favorite. Like I love this color too. Like I think this is so pretty, and I feel like this color with my eyes is so Christmassy, but I don't know like what happened. Maybe it was me, but I just feel like you shouldn't have to work that hard to get a liquid lipstick to look even and pretty on the lips. So these are not my favorite, unfortunately, but I did actually try the lip lacquers from her line. When I first got this in, like this is what she had been raving about, like saying that they were so good. And so I tried them for a TikTok. So I put the full review on my TikTok. I can link it down below, but I swatched all 4 of these and they're actually really, really pretty. So I much prefer these to the liquid lipsticks. I'm gonna go over the liquid lipstick with the lip lacquer in the shade Gumdrop. This is the darkest one. These in general are lighter. They smell really, really good as well. And these are like glossy. I feel like these are probably not meant to be layered over a liquid lipstick. When I swatched them on my TikTok, it was just on my bare lips. Okay, you know what? We're gonna take this off because I feel like these are not supposed to go over these liquid lips. All right, I have been trying to get this off for a while now. So clearly the liquid lipstick is gonna stain your lips a little bit. it is what it is. This is not like a thing to just Jaclyn Cosmetics. A lot of dark liquid lipsticks will do that. So I'm gonna jump in with a different lip liner now. I'm gonna use Unwrap Me. And we're gonna go in with one of the lip lacquers instead, but I wanna line my lips first. I'm sad because the color on that liquid lipstick was so pretty, but just didn't really work the way that I wanted it to. But the lip lacquers are actually really nice. So I'm gonna go in with the darkest shade, which is Gumdrop, like I said. And these are kind of cool because they're like a hybrid between a lip gloss and a lipstick. So you'll see when they go on, they're very pigmented. So they have the pigment of a lipstick, but they have like that glossiness of a lip gloss. And they're not sticky either, which is nice. I feel like now my whole lip area is like red because I was trying to get the other one off, so it looks a little crazy, but these actually are really, really pretty. So like I said, I will link my TikTok where I tried all 4 shades down below. And I feel like if you wanna get a lippy from this collection, I would definitely say get these and skip on the liquid lipsticks because these work a lot better in my opinion. All right, last but not least, gonna hit with some setting spray to end this off. Again, going in with the Haley's Refresh. And gonna spritz the face. All right, you guys, so that is the completed look. I feel like overall this came out very holiday, and that wasn't even my intention. But the red lip and like the green eye, I actually kind of live for it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I feel like we tried out a lot of good products today. I'll have everything listed down below, so definitely check below in the description box. And I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye.